Well, hello. I am coming to you live. This is my new time, 4 o'clock on Tuesdays, simply because I know most of you practitioners like to try and wind it up around 4 o'clock on Tuesdays. So I'm hoping that this might be a good time for us to connect online. So I thought I would come to you live today and give you an actual preview of some of what I'm going to share at our incredible upcoming Clearwater Professional Training event with Nutritional Frontiers out at Sand Key. That's right, next weekend. It's not this coming weekend, it's like a week from now. I'm actually very excited. And I thought I would share a little bit of what I'm going to share with them and let you know that in celebration of the spring equinox, and of course, having a little March Madness myself, a little fever, I have decided that I'm going to offer my program at 50% off. That's right, 50% off. And it's because I want to reach more people. I need to train more people. I've got so many requests for people who want sessions and not enough time in the day, not enough bandwidth. And so I need more practitioners out there. All right. So I will share with you a little bit more about how you can get your hands on that wonderful offer. But what I wanted to share with you today is to give you an idea about really, wanting to know the real reason why your patients are non-compliant. Well, what if I told you it's not their fault? I know that in and of itself probably makes your hair stand on end. But what if I told you it's not their fault? It's really genetic. Not only is it genetic, but we are our own genetic engineers and we actually have the power to change it. Mind blowing, huh? Okay. Well, let me tell you how. First of all, our bodies are protein making machines, right? Every cell in our body except red blood cells make proteins, right? Every function. And in order for a cell to make proteins, a cell has to be stimulated or regulated. And our genes are essentially this library of potentials, right? And the latest research in the field of genetics says genes don't create disease. It's the environment that signals the gene that begins to create disease. In fact, less than 1% of people are born with genetic conditions. The other 99% is created from lifestyle, behavior, and choices. Hello, go functional medicine, go, right? So let's talk about our inner environment. See, I'm even wearing one of my favorite tops today, Spiritual Gangster. Let's talk about that inner condition because you'll see it says meditate, manifest, and repeat. Our inner environment and the correlation between our thoughts and our emotions and our physical body. That is really bioenergetics, the correlation between our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical body. Our inner environment is affected by our emotional state, which is the key factor in sending signals that causes our genes to actually upregulate or downregulate. The environment signals the gene, and the end product of an experience is called what? Yeah, an emotion, right? Energy in motion. So when someone has a really emotionally charged experience, it begins to send the chemical emotional signals to their body. And it's that chemical emotional signal that begins to change the person's state of being, right? And the person's body and their brain are now effectively operating in the past because that event, that traumatic event, has changed them biologically. Think about it. What happens to most people is that they begin to create beliefs from their past experiences. How many of us might have been told, not naming names or pointing fingers, that they weren't good enough as a kid? So as an adult, you became an overachiever, right? It's a past experience that then changes the way you operate. All right. Since we know we are thoughts neurologically and our feelings chemically, we embrace the biology of our past experiences, which ultimately becomes our state of being, right? Because how we think and how we feel creates our state of being. Common sense, right? All right. Well, here's where I think it gets really interesting. As you know, I'm kind of geeking out on science these days. Highly charged emotional events can actually signal the genes that begin to cause the body to change. Okay. So, what happens when people are living in the routine of their predictable future? or their memories associated to the emotions of those past experiences, right? Keep repeating. They can't think, or even to a greater degree, they can't feel differently about those series of events in their lives. So that routine has begun to influence their gene expression. How? Because there's no new information coming in from the environment. The repetitive negative thoughts in their thinking lead to self limiting beliefs. The toxic emotions that they continue to feel lead to repetitive patterns, constantly sending the same information to the genes over and over and over again. All right. So once that gene's been signaled and the person's constantly living out of balance or out of homeostasis, that imbalance becomes the new normal. And now the internal environment of the body is sending those specific signals to the cells. The cells get the same instructions produce the same proteins, and the person begins to experience ill health, disease, or dis-ease within the body, or a dissonance in the frequency, and they come to see a practitioner. Hello, chronic illness. Hello, repetitive conditions. Hello, groundhog patients. Hello, fix one thing and then something else surfaces. Sound familiar? Right. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So that's how come it's not their fault. It could be genetics, epigenetics, but genetics, right? It's the same proteins getting produced and why they get stuck. So how do we get someone unstuck? You have to change the inner environment. You got to change, you have to have a pattern disrupt, right? We've got to change those thoughts. We've got to change those beliefs. We got to change those emotions. We got to change those repetitive patterns. So are you ready to take it to the next level? I hope so. Let's go quantum. When you have an internal experience in your mind that carries that amplitude of energy, right? The positive experience or the hope that, or you're just like, I'm painted in a corner and now I'm going to shift. And that is greater than the hardwire programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body. Then you'll become biologically changed for better or for worse. It's your choice how you react to the experience, right? Positive or negative. Emotional states change the internal mapping of your brain. So your biology literally changes, or better yet, the past no longer exists. Basically, in essence, you rewrite a new pattern, new information comes into the body, and it is that energy influencing matter that becomes a quantum phenomenon. We are actually quantum healers. We are in the age of quantum healing. Hello, age of Aquarius. And in celebration of the spring equinox, and it officially being spring as of right now, super cool. I am having a little bit of March Madness, and I have decided to take my special program, my brand of healing, bioenergetic healing, epigenetic quantum healing, called the Soul Intelligence Method. I'm actually offering it at 50% off. That's right. If you are interested in learning the method, you want to learn more, you want to find out a little bit more about it, either for you as a healthcare practitioner or healer, or you've got someone on your team that you would like to consider training, I am doing it because I am so focused on getting more practitioners out there. I can't keep up with the flood of requests of people who want to work with me. So it's a fantastic problem to have, but I only have so much bandwidth in my week. And I would very much like to have more healers out there, more soul intelligence practitioners certified and ready to go. So if you have been thinking about it, thinking about how do I add this to my practice? How do I help people heal completely? Right? Holistically, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the whole show, then I really want you to consider the Soul Intelligence Method. If you would like to have a quick chat with me, find out a little bit more about you, about your practice, what's working, what's not working, how we can add something else that will help improve your patient outcomes and increase your practice profits, I'm happy to schedule time with you. Just hit me up and send me a direct message. And if you are totally sold, totally committed, you are like all in, you can go to Soul Intelligence Method /yes. And I will be happy to talk to you about the program, and you can put in the code March Madness, and you will get 50% off. So I look forward to talking to you soon. And next week, I very much look forward to talking to you live from the beach out at Sand Key, where I'll be delivering even more incredible information up close and in person. And I hope to see everybody there at the professional training event. All right, until next week, have a wonderful afternoon. And remember, be a spiritual gangster. Have fun out there.